Welcome to SecondFifty and to this demonstration of the couch stretch. The couch stretch is a great way to lengthen and stretch our hip flexors, all the muscles that come down in the front of our hips. The reason this is important is when we sit all day, these hip flexors get very tight. And what that means is that when you stand up, your hips are rotated forward, anterior rotation, and what that does is put pressure on your lower back because your hips are being pulled forward by this tightness. We want to lengthen them and stretch them so we can alleviate that tightness on the back. It also can help with knee pain. I do this stretch a lot. It can be an intense stretch, so I'm going to show you a couple of different ways to do it, to regress it and progress it to make it harder or easier. So take it easy when you do this stretch, and you'll find your rhythm and your best place to do it. So a couple things that I recommend. You're going to want to have some kind of a cushion. You could use a cushion or you could use a rolled up yoga mat. I particularly like this simple cushion, and I have a resource page on the website where I've got kind of a kit of things I recommend for stretching. This is one of them. The other is I like these nice wide yoga blocks. They're inexpensive, but they're very utilitarian. And finally, this simple little stool is a terrific little piece of equipment to have when you're stretching. You can lean on it, you can sit on it, you can use it for any number of things. So I also recommend that. Okay, couch stretch. Like all our stretches, we're going to hold this stretch for 3 minutes. I'm not going to hold it today because I'm going to be explaining it to you. You can do that on your own. 3-minute hold. You want to breathe in for 4 counts, breathe out for 8 counts, which is the way we do long hold passive stretching. You want to hold these stretches for more than just 30 or 45 seconds in order to get the full benefit of the stretch. So the first thing you'll do is let's start with the left leg knee up against the wall, leg going up the wall, right behind your thigh. Now, for a lot of people, this position alone will provide quite a stretch. So you see the way I've done this, I've got my knee forward. It's really as if I've been on all fours, and then I put my knee back against the wall, and then I can use either my yoga blocks, or you can use a stool or something like that to bring your chest up, keeping your back flat. You do not want banana back. You don't want to arch your back. You want to keep your back flat, and then press your hips forward and down, tighten your abs a bit, and then move your shoulders back until you start to feel a stretch there. I'm starting to feel that stretch now. Once you feel that stretch right here in your hip flexors coming up into your abdomen, you know you're in the right place. And you want this to be about a 7 out of 10. So you don't want to feel pain, but you do want to feel some stress. It should be vaguely uncomfortable. So you're going to hold this stretch. As I mentioned, you're going to breathe in for 4, breathe in through your nose for 4, out through your mouth for 8. That rhythmic breathing helps to reduce the stretch reflex. It helps to allow our body to let those muscles lengthen. So you're here in this position, and if this is too difficult for you, if this feels too tight, if you just can't even get into this position, bring your knee away from the wall a little bit, and that'll reduce the pressure even more on your hip flexors, reduce the stretch. So hold this position. If this position feels fine, if your knee against the wall feels fine, you can go to a second position, which is to bring this right leg and foot forward the way I have it here. When you do that, you significantly increase the stretch, and you also add in a nice hip flexion here, which is kind of nice also. So again, same thing in this position. You're going to start by sort of keeping your shoulders down, nice and straight through your body, back straight, not arched, and then you begin raising your shoulders up as you're looking up ahead of you, and you're keeping those hips pressed forward and down. And now right here, I'm feeling that stretch very nicely. So now I'm going to hold this position, minimum of 2 minutes, up to 5 minutes. I kind of go right in the middle, 3 minutes. And you're going to do this on each side. So you're holding this stretch, and while you're in the stretch, and while you're finding the best position for your stretch, you can move around a little bit, and you'll feel the stretch hit different areas of your quadriceps and your hip flexors. They're all connected down there. Okay, and once you've found that spot, you hold this stretch for the 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes, somewhere in there, doing your rhythmic breathing. Again, if you're kind of in between these different positions, you can bring that knee out a little bit from the wall and bring this foot forward. Okay, you may say this feels better for me. Once you've gotten comfortable with the stretch, and once you feel like you're starting to make some progress, your ultimate goal is to be coming right up like this against the wall. Again, hips forward and tucked down, not banana back, and really feeling that stretch. If you're adventurous and you really feel like you've got this, you can raise one arm and you'll feel even more stretch. If you raise the same arm as the leg that's back against the wall, you will really accentuate the stretch. Once you've done that, you'll come down and do the same thing on the other side. Bring that leg up. Initially, probably want to have 2 or 3 inches away from the wall as you get the hang of it. Keep your knee down to start. See how you feel. This side is significantly tighter for me. Again, hips forward, abs in, shoulders up, not banana back, and breathe. If you feel good, you're starting to get it more comfortable with the stretch. Bring that foot forward and come up into the position. Again, move. So when I move this way, I intensify the stretch. My right side is significantly tighter than my left side. So I would do this side. I might do this side for an extra minute because of that. Okay, so why is this called the couch stretch? Because it was originally conceived as being something you could do when you were watching television or when you were in front of your couch. And in some ways, this can be easier when you're just getting started, especially if you have tight ankles. Because when you're up against the wall, your foot is really being pressed against the wall, your ankle's really being opened up. This way, it's a little less, as long as the cushion is the right height, it's a little less pressure on the ankle. So you would just do the same thing here. You would just put that foot up against the couch this time, and then as you get more comfortable, you can come up this way. This is a little less intense as a stretch. And look, you can do this while you're watching television. You can just spend 10 minutes in the couch stretch. What will it do? It will improve that, lengthen those hip flexors. It will relieve pressure. You won't have that forward tilt with those hip flexors pulling, rotating your hips forward and pinching your lower back. It's a really good stretch. I probably do it 2 or 3 times a week. I think you'll find that it is it's intense. So start slowly, start easily, and then if you do it over several weeks, you'll find that it gets a lot easier, and I think you'll feel the relief on your back. Thanks for watching.